digital space is, the understanding of the digital space. So, I think one of the questions people always ask me, about the challenges of being in this space is that they say they can't get access to the money, right? They can't get advertisers to be involved. They can't make money for their productions. Sheila, talk to us a little bit about historically what some of the challenges have been for African Americans getting those advertising dollars to come their way.
Yeah, just going back to what Kelly has said and looking at it from a historical perspective, not from a content creation perspective, but really from a business and a business model. You look at how hard it has been for people of color to build and own their own media enterprises. So we've had pioneers that have created a thriving newspaper industry. We had the rise of BET that was ultimately sold. We had the rise of Essence that was ultimately sold. We have a lot of our minority-owned and controlled media that falls into consolidation as all of these enterprises have scaled and become mass media companies. So thinking about how you monetize these, it's been very difficult for us to gain the same levels of scale as our general market counterparts. And the discrimination has certainly played a role in this. If you hear some of the stories that Mr. Johnson from Johnson Publishing talks about, breaking automotive advertisers, breaking beauty advertisers, getting people to think about the African American market as valuable, that's really what's at its core, is the advertisers have to think that our dollars are as green as anyone else's, and that has been something that we have continued to struggle with. In the digital space, we have a slightly different situation where our largest traditional media brands that are owned and controlled by people of color have not embraced digital media, and frankly, in a lot of cases, been left behind. So it's up to our digital natives, and that's why this conversation is so important. It's up to the generation that feels fluent and excited and comfortable with technology and embracing digital media to be able to build those enterprises that are going to be scalable and monetizable.
Okay, so I think we all understand that there's significant challenges across the board in this media space. But I think we're all here to talk about what the opportunity is. So I'm going to poll the audience again. How many people here did not know that this Google office was here before tonight? Mm-hmm. So just a note from Google, your pass is one-time usage, so don't come back tomorrow. Because you know how we get when we find out about something, we just want to come back all the time. How many of you know that Google has a huge studio here in California called the YouTube space? Great, so we have an educated crowd. So that studio, which I've toured, probably is the most cutting-edge studio in the world. Beats out any movie studio, any television studio. $1 million worth of camera equipment, 4 sound stages. They build sets for you, and you can use it for free once you establish over 10,000 subscribers on your YouTube channel. So when you think about that, as you guys are all in LA, if you're in entertainment, you know how much it costs to rent a sound stage. You know how much it costs to rent $30,000, $40,000 of cameras a day, and you know how much it costs to have access to that space. So when you think about that, that's just a piece of some of the bigger opportunities. But how many people in here have a YouTube channel? How many people here are monetizing that YouTube channel? So that's what we want to talk about, right? That we're all participating at some level, but there's a real opportunity here for us to create businesses and create companies on this platform. And Jamal, I'm going to throw it to you because you're a successful YouTube creator. Let's talk about it. Everybody here, most people here use YouTube. Most people here have a channel, but very few of them are monetizing it. So maybe talk about how you've taken your channel from creation to a business.
Thank you for having me, first of all. Thank you all for coming. I think one of the reasons that I found so much success in YouTube and monetization is that when I went to YouTube, it wasn't for monetization. And I think sometimes if your focus is, I'm gonna do this to make money, sometimes it just, your points don't add up. But it was a solution for me. I was putting video on the web before YouTube was created. And YouTube was just a server space for me. If I uploaded the BET Awards from yesterday, I'd like to buy 2 more gigs of space for my server and spend more money. So YouTube became a free server for me. That was like the opportunity for me, just like the YouTube space is. people try to use the space. And I just continued to do my passion, which was create videos, do interviews with compelling people. And eventually YouTube's technology and opportunities that they were working with aligned with making money with monetization. And as soon as that triggered, you know, I was an early adapter to technology. With what you said showed like a lot of black businesses aren't. And one of the reasons another reason I was so successful was BET wasn't there. You know, and some of the content I was doing may have been found on BET also, some of the interviews with black entertainers and everything, but they weren't there. So I was able to go to that space and kind of be a big dog in that space. I mean, I'm proud to say that I've made $1 million on YouTube over the last 6 years. So the opportunities are there, but I mean, there's definitely challenges, but the opportunities are there, but it mostly has to do with your passion for what you're doing, and just the opportunities will come if you're passionate about what you're doing. You just gotta seek them out. Just like he said, the YouTube space could be your whole production budget. You could get just for 10,000 viewers, you know. So the opportunities are there.
So Kelly, you mentioned before that you've worked with a lot of people in the entertainment space, so you understand the production process. Maybe talk about what this opportunity means for aspiring content creators and what they can do.
I'd like to just kind of show by example. Anyone here who was invited by Impact Media or is partnered with us in any way, please stand. Everybody, don't be shy. So
really all you've shown is that you ran the invite. All the people who couldn't get on.
I'll say no, we actually know her.
and that's part of what I came here to do, is to try to help create the opportunities and forge the relationships. I started off in advertising and on the production side early on in my career, but I'm not the expert anymore. But what I am is an organizer. I am a professional executive, and I have a vision, and I'm strategic, and I have run nonprofits before, and this is my passion, and I believe my purpose to connect those who are in the industry with the resources in corporate, in the finance community, and investors and others to help facilitate the opportunities, because I can't learn it. We all have a story to tell. I don't have time to learn how to tell mine, but those who are already in the process and who have paid their dues and know what to do, I want to help facilitate getting that positive content created, distributed, marketed, and we all have a part to play. So in addition to supporting those by watching the positive content that's out there, because we know whatever we watch, that's casting a vote. We have to really use our time wisely. We know African Americans right now are watching on average 7 hours of television per day. That's just television, and we're leading in the digital space as well. And Nielsen even said in their 2014 diversity report that we need to demand more from the industry around what kind of content we want to see. My organization has conducted some research that demonstrates that we want to see the positive programming. Everyone tries to tell us in the industry that this is what we want, this is what we're watching, but it's not. It's comparing apples and oranges. When we have the content that's there, it's not marketed or distributed properly. And so we appreciate opportunities from Google to go outside of the mainstream to get our content out there.
So Pierre, how big is the demand? How big is this opportunity?
I think the opportunity is endless. I mean, we're in a space now to where borders are, there's limitless borders. So it's just really having the content to, one, can get us out of the trash, with no insult to anybody, but the trash content that we just throw up, to get into a space where we have quality content, to where we can use this platform to build our own platform, to where we control the demand. So it's back getting into owning your own business and getting to the space to where you control the demand, so we don't have to demand the demand, we already control it.
So we